Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the
game.
designed for the average man.
Destiny 2.
Any questions? What does this monstrosity cost?
Jerry, what's the sticker price?
$82,000! This monstrosity cost $82,000! What have I done? I mean, the zoo was fun, but I'm ruined!
Destiny 2.
Destiny 2, our favourite game ever, really. We love talking about this.
Just yesterday we did a big video on Anthem and all the news rolling out from that. Some other big juicy news is flowing on the other big looter shooter of our time, Destiny 2. And it actually involves a Wall Street analyst who is sort of arguing that maybe Destiny is dead.
No, he could never say that. This game is going to stick around because the quality is there, people. I feel it. Quality is there.
Destiny 2.
Our favourite.
Our favourites. Now, we all know that Destiny 2's on the ropes, but I guess
more than on the ropes, but anyway.
I guess up to this point, I'd really thought that it was a very localized complaint sphere. There's a whole bunch of people on the intertubes who are like, rah, we don't like Destiny 2.
That's true, actually.
And that's it, you know what I mean? And the casual players still love it, and nobody else knows about it. Certainly not Wall Street.
That's true, because I feel like with EA and Star Wars Battlefront 2, like, everyone knew about it. People that barely played games were like, oh, I heard about that, it's pretty shit. With this, you're right, it felt like a very, community thing. Like, us as the Destiny community, we hate this game right now, but anyone else that didn't know the community, they'd be like, what's wrong with Destiny 2? I like it, it's cool.
The article begins, player interest in Activision Blizzard's Destiny 2 is dropping, which will hurt the game publisher's add-on revenue this year, one Wall Street firm predicts. So what this means is that if people aren't playing the game, then they're certainly not spending money in microtransactions, which means the long-tail revenue for that game is reducing. So this is an insight into how Wall Street thinks about video games. They don't really care how fun they are. As long as we keep playing them, it means we keep spending, and then means that the share price is going to go up.
But ultimately, it does come back to how fun it is, because I'll tell you what, well, because if it's fun, then people on YouTube, of course, are saying how fun it is, and then the people that are watching the YouTube videos are influenced by those YouTubers, not just like us or whoever, but like, the broad YouTube community. They will end up probably playing that game more. So
yeah, definitely.
I think it's interesting to see that, like, even these Wall Street people are, checking out YouTube channels and, like, checking out who's playing games to even understand what the value of a share is.
Yeah, because the other thing that this article said is that several key Destiny video streamers have announced that they will reduce content for the game in the future. He noted Twitch viewership for the game is at a franchise low, levels averaging around 4,000 to 7,000 viewers on Friday afternoons versus 14,000 to 17,000 Destiny 1 a year ago. Now, this is actually something that has been doing the rounds lately, this conversation point. We haven't touched on it yet. This idea that Destiny's YouTubers and streamers are moving on from the game. And it's kind of true. A lot of the key, YouTubers that I know are not playing anymore. I've seen articles, funnily enough, that have my name in them saying that Skill Up has stopped covering Destiny.
Where's Layman, huh?
No,
where the hell is Layman, huh? We're the main channel,
exactly
people.
Where it belongs.
We're the main channel, people, and you know it.
You're not important. Get used to it.
People like Datto. Datto is the biggest, most respected Destiny YouTuber, I should say. And he's come out recently and said, I'm probably not going to be able to do much content on this game because there isn't much to say about it. Other YouTubers that I know are doing the same thing. Streamers have just stopped streaming the game altogether. It's very, very rough times from on that community aspect side of the game. And again, Wall Street are noticing that that's a thing, and they're pricing that into the price of Activision Blizzard's share, which I think is fascinating.
And it's a domino effect,
Very much.
These people come out and say, guys, I'm not doing content anymore because there's not a lot of content. And then people are like, oh, okay, there's not a lot of content. And they start watching people on Twitch, especially when certain people on YouTube also have Twitch accounts. So it's a domino effect of more and more people that disconnect from the game, because even so many people that they enjoy watching the game stops playing the game.
But get this, just when we thought that Wall Street had no idea about video games, this
Which
guy,
they don't, but anyway.
well, this guy gives a list of things that he says is wrong with Destiny 2. He says, number one, design decisions were made that have made Destiny 2 a less engaging and less distinctive game than Destiny 1. In particular, key aspects of the Destiny 2 endgame feel neutered compared to Destiny 1.
Okay,
And I'm like,
that is something that
spot
only
on.
a gamer will say.
I reckon this guy's a mad gamer.
That guy sits at night after he does his day trading and it's like, I'm gonna play me some Destiny 1 for like 10 hours.
And I'm going to watch me some layman.
And I'm gonna watch me some later. This
Right.
guy has taste. Okay.
Number two, he said microtransaction implementation, while not nearly as problematic as Star Wars Battlefront 2, has been a source of player unhappiness. And that's very true. The Eververse is ultimately the end game of Destiny 2 at this point. There's just no argument about that. And he's calling that out here, which is, absolutely spot on. Number three, he said Bungie, the studio that developed the game, apparent urgency in responding to player feedback has been disappointing. Totally spot on.
True.
Bungie are basically saying, you know what, we're not really going to have our game fixed until fall 2018. That's September, October, the end of this year.
But on top of that, they've come out with multiple opportunities in the past to fix it with seasonal events. Oh, sorry guys, we didn't know that we were throttling XP. Then they do it again. Like, they've just let themselves down again and again. So it's not just because they're not releasing new content in a year's time. They've released content or fixed content that was apparently broken, which was all bullshit. So
yeah,
totally.
He also gives point 4. Until recently, Bungie did a poor job of communicating its roadmap going forward, particularly compared to the more open stance of many other live game services. Which is so true, because, Warframe, for example, does a live stream event like every fortnight talking about what's going on in the game, what we can expect next.
Yeah.
Massive have done a show every week, the state of the game for Division, so you knew what was coming next. There's tons of developers out there that are just totally open about what's going on. With Bungie, they're like, Moses coming down the mountain every fucking 6 months with the here is the word of what's happening, and you're like, what does that mean?
What the hell is that?
Up to additional changes.
Yeah.
What could that be?
But it's just right. You're so right in saying that. Especially with this community at the moment, so up in arms with what's going on. They want direction. They want a sense of hope for the future. If you're coming out every 2 weeks for saying, hey guys, this is what we're doing next, this is what we're doing next, this is what we're doing next, it gives everyone a sense of cool, okay, well they're slowly moving in the right direction every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Instead of every 6 months or whatever it is.
Exactly. So the final point of this article, which I thought was really sort of profound almost, was he said, as a result, the analyst is not optimistic that the company will be able to turn the Destiny franchise around. Quote, we do think Bungie still has some opportunity to fix the game's problems over the next year and recapture engagement, but we're not sure that they have the ability to pull it off at this point. We also note that Destiny currently has more serious competition in its genre from a refurbished Division and the indie title Warframe that it did 3 years ago when Destiny 1 had its own share of player dissatisfaction. So what he's saying here is that, they might be able to turn it around, but they doubt it because,
there's more problems. It's harder now.
It's a much harder market, especially with Anthem coming next year as well.
And Division
harder for them to do that.
Back now where it should be.
Yeah. So I can't wrap my head around the concept though that the Destiny will not be around in the years to come. It's a 10-year deal with Activision, so I'm very skeptical about that. But maybe we'll just see it in a reduced state. Maybe it just becomes like another shooter.
It could be that. I think what will happen is, a lot of people will move on. There'll be some casual gamers that still play it and they don't follow the news enough to know that, that it's actually in a bit of shambles. They'll make a Destiny 3, the marketing campaign will be fat, of course, and everyone will be like, there will definitely be some hype. A lot of people will buy the game, and that if they really tie their bootstraps up and just fix Destiny 3, maybe they can revive this. But the bottom line is, a lot of people, a lot of the people that have played Destiny 2, regardless of the marketing campaign, will not line up for Destiny 3 because they've had this experience. Yeah. And they're not coming back.
How many times can we be burnt before we eventually just you know what?
Totally.
Fuck that.
Totally.
So it's sad times for Destiny.
Sad times, guys.
Okay, it's a case of we knew that there were player dissatisfaction. I didn't think it would trickle out into this space. I didn't think it would really hurt Activision in the long term, like their share price.
Oh, I thought it definitely would. I had no question about the game's player base was going to decline, microtransactions was going to decline, and of course the brand was damaged. That all would definitely have an effect on their share price. The only thing that is surprising is, there's actual articles coming out on this shit. I thought maybe it would have been some internal stuff that, and that's how the share is affected, but not actual articles coming out saying, guys, these are the reasons and this is what's to look out for. And obviously done by quite a you know, an accomplished gamer in some respects.
He actually understands what
He
he's
knows
talking
what's
about.
going on.
Yeah,
Like,
he does. He does.
You know,
No doubt.
so
Anyway, guys, that's the latest with Destiny 2.
That's
We
it,
will
guys.
continue to bring you the latest and greatest Destiny 2 coverage.
because
We're the number one Destiny 2 channel on YouTube.
yes, because we know you love it. We love Destiny 2, so we just want to keep talking about it. Like, why not? Why not? Is that it?